Boom. Hey, it's been a while. As a matter of fact, it's been 5 years. April marks the 5th year anniversary of Arcane Bear. I'm just finishing taking off a birthday month. As we get older, apparently you have less time alive, so you should spend more time celebrating. Seems like a pretty clear answer for most things as we get older. Hey, I'm getting older. You should be excited about everything because that's the only good option. I wanted to take a bit of time here to kind of go over the last 5 years. We're working on a private update for everyone that goes into quite a bit more detail and depth about some of the things I feel I'm maybe not allowed to talk about on YouTube. Which in itself has been a very enlightening and also frightening experience. But let's rewind all the way back to 2017. I posted my very first YouTube videos. Now, both of these videos happen to be about DMT or BTC. Now, whatever thread that is woven between the tapestries, that's the niche that has brought this community together over the years. And even though I started off with a pretty simple mission statement of provide value to other people's, or rather communicate value to others, this learning process and journey that has been the Arcane Bear, for me, has actually extended a huge amount of growth into my communication skills, my interpersonal business skills, the ability to scale businesses, work with multiple types of people, and really learn something new almost every day. I never really anticipated that I would be making YouTube videos, and when I first started the whole process of making a video and trying to, even still like trying to write out what this kind of sketch of this idea is going to be, is actually quite difficult. There are a lot of people who are much better at it than I am. I'm a very improvisational person. But as each video went on, the community explained to me more and more what you guys were interested in. And I found this was a great lesson by itself, is in business, we're trying to produce something that's valuable to other people. And often we might produce something valuable that we think is for ourselves. And this is not always a great product model, although that can sometimes work. What I've consistently tried to do is listen to your guys' feedback, take on what I can and change what I can without having to try to rewrite my entire character. And then from there, consistently reiterate on what was most valuable to you. So I went back over the last few months, last few years, and I've looked at all the videos. And the most popular ones, again, are Bitcoin and dimethyltryptamine. And I think that there's a very unique lesson here about our interest in wealth and value. The last 3 years for me has been very difficult. In the early days of the Arcane Bear YouTube channel, we had podcasts with all sorts of fringe scientists, thinkers, physicists, physicians, doctors, just outside of the box people who were generally considered heretics. And just to summarize the last 3 years, I think has been really important, is I really moderated myself and self-censored to make sure that I didn't get kicked off YouTube for all the things that I was studying in the background. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't, just start a Rumble channel so that I could maintain my freedom of speech. One of the core values of communicating something wealthy to other people was also to find what's true. And I've learned over the last few years that what's true is not always profitable. And if what's true is not profitable, then someone that's making a profit from something else that is likely the untrue is spending a lot of money to try to censor true. And that's a really weird, discerning, and the most frightening thing I've ever seen. But aside from all the chaos that's been going on in the world, the last 5 years of Arcane Bear has been the most amazing experience for me to grow and to learn so many different skill sets here. To even to be able to set a camera up with a microphone, and I got a wireless mic here, and to get it into the computer and edit it. There's a huge process of learning for me each step of the way to try to do this, and it's not easy. And one of the things I wish I had done better over the last few years was really try to navigate the relationship of these conversations, of what would get us banned and why that's taking place. Now, I'm very grateful to see that many other people are speaking up and speaking out, and the things I would have gotten banned for are now openly accepted, credible ideas. It's always one of the weird things to be a heretic. But the most important part about this channel has been you guys. I can't thank enough. Let's state off a few names: Bearden Jerry, Gandalf the White, DW, Mr. Daniel, Robert, Sonny. I could go through a huge list of names. Everyone in the private bear group. You guys have so many great ideas that you're sharing in the charts, and you're always helping each other learn and grow. And it's been the only reason I could take a month off and really not doing these, because of all of you are helping support one another. So that's been the most incredible aspect about this. I had a podcast with Sam Price yesterday. He invited me on. He was like, dude, I was watching your channel in 2017 and I was working a 9-to-5 job, and he quit and he started a YouTube channel and he started investing in crypto, and he's changed his entire life. And I think when we're going through the process of ideating and creating new aspects of what might be valuable to others, it's hard to recognize just how deep that might go for some people, because this has been such an unknown adventure for me. I didn't know where we were going when we started the Arcane Bear. I kind of have a better vision of where we're going. I think that the next 5 to 10 years is probably really well-rounded by focusing on more health, more long-term personal applications of these ideas. This last month I spent a bunch of days climbing up mountains, sleeping under waterfalls, just reminiscing about when I was a child and the growth and stages to get to where I am today. And we're going to do ayahuasca in a few days. And all of this culminates in how we maintain and grow Arcane Bear for the next few years. So we had focused on a lot of venture capital, and predominantly over the last 2 years, only video games within the crypto sector. And this has been a lot of fun because it's really helped codify or cement something in my personal process, which is we all want to generally make as much money as possible while doing the least amount of work. And venture investing, or just even early stage investing, is one of the few businesses where you can make a lot of money by not doing a whole lot of anything. One good investment 5 to 10 years from now might be worth millions of dollars. And in retrospect, this has been always the hardest thing, is how do we do the most valuable thing today that 5 to 10 years from now is going to pay off so asymmetrically that we could basically just be okay as we are, sitting here grateful for everything that is, knowing that the wealth that we want to achieve is just a few steps away. This is always an interesting question. How do we not just achieve but maintain the wealth that our desires and dreams bring us, and the responsibility that goes along with that. So I'm really excited. We hit our 5th year anniversary. Time just absolutely flew by. I'm excited for the next 5 years. I've got some ideas I'm working on. It still feels like it's like brewing, you want to smash the ayahuasca vines. It's got to brew for 36 hours. There's still some ideas that I'm percolating on that are not fully there yet, but private newsletters will help finish some of this thought, because I know there's a bunch of things I can't say without still getting kicked off YouTube. And I think more importantly than ever, I'm going to include that in a lot of my breakdowns. So the private newsletter is going to become a lot more personal. It won't just be charts and investment ideas. It'll also be some of the personal stuff that I'm going through, witnessing, and then how to deal with that. Because I feel pretty confident that there are more things we should have been talking about, but then didn't, and then now we have to, some way, shape, or form. So we're going to save that for the private newsletter. We've got some fun, exciting ideas coming up over the next little while. I'm going to make more videos. I think now that my birthday month is over, we'll go back to that 2 live streams a week, and maybe 1 or 2 kind of edited videos like this, or somewhere. So I'm getting 2 to 3 videos per week effectively. I like being consistent, and this is still one of my favorite things to do, so I'm not going to I don't want to lose it. I just want to make sure that each year that we grow and that we progress, I'm taking a look back and going, look here, these are some really great things that we've done. Here's some of the challenges that we've had. Let's try to rebuild, reiterate, and then move forward again with this kind of new vision of what could and what is. So I just wanted to personally thank all the Bear family members out there today. I know it's been a while since I've made videos, but I am so grateful for all of the community support over the last few years. I don't know what I would be doing with my life if I weren't making videos, and this is still one of my favorite things to do. And I love playing music, I love dancing. There's a bunch of other things I know all of us love. They're probably not PG-13. Anyways, Steve with the Arcane Bear. I just wanted to take this moment to thank you guys all for an amazing 50-year anniversary, and to many, many more years here together. We'll see you guys.